Speak up, speak out. Let's talk about it. Welcome to the show where you can show your love, no doubt about it. Where self-love and self-worth are the topics of the day. Right here on the Just Blah Show, where love is the only way. And here are your hosts, Barb and Faye.
This is Barb.
And this is Faye, and welcome to Just Blah. This is actually a special edition or a kickoff edition for just kind of addressing different content that we're getting on our Facebook page. It's called Beautiful Mess. This is the public page side of it. And we are getting so many comments that we're not actually able to physically just keep up with all of them. So we thought this would be a really good way to reach out to people who engage with our Facebook page and just kind of give them, let them have a chance to hear what it is from the side of the people that create the content for these pages. I'm sure it's similar to other pages, but for us, we're basing it off of our experience. And so Barb and I know most people don't know me on Beautiful Mess. I'm kind of in the background, but I work with Barb creating content. And again, my name's Faye. And we do these recordings. We have a page called Just Blah, the YouTube channel. This has been shared from the YouTube channel, so you're able to go ahead and share from Facebook, or if you'd like to hear any of our content that we create for across the board for any of our platforms, this is where we will be uploading all of them. It's not just a dedicated YouTube channel just for Beautiful Mess. It's going to be for all the content that we create on a video. So feel free to go over there and subscribe so you can hear the different things that we talk about. With that, hopefully I covered all that. I'll have Barb, go ahead and address what it is exactly, what Beautiful Mess is, but mostly what Amour de Soi is, which is kind of the umbrella company for the different entities that we actually have created to reach out to different styles of communication and what appeals to different people. So Barb, with that, I'm going to go ahead and just pop it over to you, and then we can maybe start talking real briefly about the content if you'd like.
Sure. Hi, everybody. I'm Barb. I know I don't pop on too often onto Beautiful Mess and make videos, but like Faye said, we were discussing how can we reach out and make sure that you all know that we are looking at your comments. We want to comment on all of them. We definitely want to address any questions. Please DM me if it's super important. If you need a response, I will definitely respond. Just give me, 24 to 48 hours. Faye and I do this on a volunteer basis. We're not making any money on this. We're doing this from a space of love and sharing based on our journey together. If you guys haven't figured it out, Faye and I are twins or triplets. There's another one, but it's a boy. And we just really wanted to share our experiences from our perspective. My background for me is I have a master's degree in human dynamics. I study the process, how people process and perceive their world and how they show up and why they show up the way they do. And that's why I'm able to speak to it. I by no means am the, be all end all. I just speak from my perspective. And that's what I try to encourage people to do. I recommend books, videos, whatever I can to support you, because I understand that everybody, most of us cannot afford a therapist, a coach, or even have access to a group because you live out in, no man's land or many, 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 many miles away from that, or you don't feel safe with the groups that are available to you. So this is just a platform to let you know that there is a connection here. You can have that. We do plan on adding on more things as we go on and move into like book clubs and classes, but that's down the road. It takes time, and we want to make sure that we're building a foundation that isn't going to collapse on itself. So that's pretty much where I'm at with everything. I really want to touch, I don't want to make this too long, but I kind of want to just touch on a couple of things that popped up this week. This is, what week are we in? We're wrapping up the week of May 15th. So it's Sunday, May 15th. And I just wanted to talk about one. It's just kind of odd because I've never had anybody have asked me this, and then it happened twice this week about women asking, why are there men on this page? Well, one, men are absolutely involved and are allowed to be involved in our page. It's a public page. I do, however, remove anybody that I see that is using this as a platform to pick up or meet other women, the women or women to women. However, this is not a pickup dating site and it's not meant for that. If I see any type of selling, sharing of links of other services to other platforms, I support them, but I don't know what you're sharing and I don't want that to be associated with my page. So everything that I post is something that I believe in and know, at least for me, has been impactful. So if you do see somebody that is that you might be questionable, just send me their name so I can research it and pull it up and find it. Because I'm not, obviously, there's a lot of you and two of us, and sometimes I do miss it, especially when the threads are, 2 to 3,000 comments on it. I can't go through every single one of those. It's very difficult. So I want to make sure that the page stays as safe as possible at a public forum.
Yeah, and just so you know, my background is really the management side. And if you go back and listen to some of our recordings on the YouTube, we talk about right brain, left brain, and Barb and I are really good examples of that. Even though we're fluid between both sides, it's really about how you approach life. I'm kind of like the organizer, that's coordinator. That's actually what I do for a living. I'm a coordinator. I coordinate things. So, it's just in my nature, it's built in. I've always been that way. I have a military background. And I think that's kind of where that core came from. So it helps with trying to organize all these different entities and stuff like that. But with that, Barb and I was really having a really good conversation, and we really thought we would kick it off with this about, again, like Barb was saying, this is something that we do freely because we want to be able to share from our perspective and our understanding. And please know that as we learn and grow, those can change, right? So just be aware of that. But also, it can be really discouraging because it's really easy to for people to hide behind their computers and make comments, and sometimes we just get to the point where we're like, man, is this really worth it? It's really putting yourself out there, being vulnerable, and being able to and the skill set would be like being able to sit there and observe it and respond to it versus react to it. So it's really good practice for us. But with that,
yeah, and it's a challenge for me because we're
human and we're very
well, we're both what we call recovering people pleasers. So for me, particularly this week, I don't know why, but I just felt like, what the heck, right? There was just, not that they were attacking me personally. They were just, no matter what it seemed to post, there was always somebody in there that was just not understanding the post or the way it meant, or they weren't curious. They were judgmental. Let me put it that way. Their comments was, oh, this is how I'm understanding it. They were just like, bullshit. And I'm sorry to use that word, but that's one of the things that was put out there. And I'm just like, okay, you can say that, but tell me why that is for you so I can respond appropriately if I choose to, because how do I respond to that? That to me is just getting on the field of death, what I call the field of death or emotion. It's like, you're right, I'm wrong. And it's not about that. It's about sharing our perceptions, because I want to learn too. I learn from you all too. Please share. That's so important to me. I am in no means closed off to people taking accountability for their voice, but attacking other people, I don't allow. So as soon as we start cussing at other people or saying you this and you that, it's a no-go for me. It just doesn't. That just shows the emotional pain you're in on my side, from my perception, and that you're not able to engage in a really I want to say fun, because those are fun, like a learning experience conversation to grow together instead of apart.
Yeah, and this kind of reminds me of kind of how we even evolved into doing this. And I want you to talk about it because you're it's not that I'm not passionate, but you're very good at explaining it. And that's the arena, the Roosevelt
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
yeah, and I
Mhm.
know that I know I'm putting you on the spot, but it really, you're kind of hitting upon all the little, are you in the seats or are you in the arena, right? Uh,
Right.
and so I think it would be kind of good just to I think we'll close out with that,
Okay.
with your explanation of that. And then if, with this video, maybe we can post that right underneath it so people know what we're talking about, or if you can add it. I don't know.
Yeah,
how
I wish
to
I knew because I actually have it in my bookcase right
Yes,
here, but I
yeah.
don't have time to get up and get it. But
Yeah,
yeah, it's
and I don't
absolutely
think reading
amazing.
it, I don't think you need to read it
Yeah,
verbatim, but you
right.
know what I'm talking about.
I do.
And this is out of Brene's Brown. Is it Courage to Lead?
It's Dare to Lead, I
Oh,
believe.
Dare to Lead. That's what it was.
Yes. Uh-huh.
This is
And
it. She
yeah.
talks about it, and I think for us, this is kind of where it got us going. Okay, yeah, that's right. We need to step up. It wasn't the
Yeah.
beginning of our journey, but it really came the foundation
Yeah,
of our
the
journey.
catalyst to get us moving.
Yeah, so go ahead and talk
So
about that and we'll wrap up.
yeah, just really quickly for those, it's a part of, and Brene Brown does quote it in, I think, at the very beginning of her book in the preface. And it's from Theodore Roosevelt, 1912, addressed to in Paris, France. And it's basically, and I'm sure people who have been, are on these type of pages have probably seen this quote, but it's about, are you the person, are you up in the, don't be the person up in the stands. It's easy to be up in the stands and scream down to the gladiator, or the person, the warrior, right? Doing something and making them wrong or right in their actions. Where you can be down and you're going to be there, a warrior, and you're going to face the lion or whatever the challenge, and you're going to get knocked down, you're going to get bloodied, you're going to feel alone in it, you're going to be feeling isolated, you're going to be all those things, but you're showing up, you're standing back up, and then you're going through, and it's not pushing through to be right, but you're fighting the battles to win that peace that we look for, breaking down those gladiator walls. Don't ever be the person in the stand on the sidelines yelling and screaming, because we have a lot of spectators in our life who have a lot of comments about how we show up, and yet they're on the side of life and they're not being courageous in the sense of being vulnerable. It's really easy to criticize on, like we said, behind our keyboards, and also to praise. And that's the other thing is to stand up and praise, because we forget to cheer until somebody falls down and stands back up, and we don't encourage and push. So my job is to not just be, I'm going to be there with you, I'm going to be inside the ring with you, and I'm going to fight with you, and I'm going to, if you can't do it, I'm going to step forward and be there with you until you catch your breath and come back up again, so you can go back in and do it again, because you can. It's just practice. I hope that's
Yeah, and we'll
explained
post
well
it
enough.
because I think when you read it,
Yeah.
it pretty much explains everything. And
Yeah.
I find it a really good philosophy, a good foundation,
Yeah.
and it's a good piece to go back to read
It is.
when you're in that space of like, why am I doing this, right?
Right. Right.
So I think with that, we'll end it there because we don't want to make this too long. And again, I'm Faye, and I always like to sign off with go find your joys and enjoy your life. And Barb.
Yeah, my favorite saying is, you can't do you wrong.
All right, and with that, thank you for listening, and we look forward to evaluating what comes across the content on or comments on Beautiful Mess next week.
Okay,
Thank you.
talk to you soon. Bye.